and it must inform to the balancing of the votes. But remember one thing, IEBC has not put into place proper agency infrastructure. They have not even come up with a statutory form that is generated for the benefit of the benefit of the agent to tally his votes. Agents are given small exercise books. Those exercise books, they never find themselves anywhere in law. I would think that proper and innovative legislation and amendments to the Act would say that even the agents will have a statutory form that is provided for them in law and given to them by the IEBC to represent their candidates and their political parties in that particular process. So that then, therefore, that form itself is anchored in law.
Okay.
So in the event of a dispute, therefore, your agents, they have a statutory form that is properly anchored in law. Other than having an exercise book that will be doubted by any other person.
Later, because it could have been Njiru writing something.
So that then you say that this statutory form, there is a place for at the closure of the polling and the counting, where the PO signs 4, the other agent also signs 4, and then the agent goes with his form at home. So that in case of the dispute, we'll call the agent from polling station, Karusha polling station, and ask him, please bring us your form.
So if I go back to this thing where you're looking at the numbers and you're streaming them live, and previously the argument that has been given that an election is not stolen at the back, it's stolen in the back end.
Yes.
And that's why they say that when you're looking at maize in the granary, it's been stolen in the field.
Yes.
So you cannot start to count the maize that comes to the door of the granary in the truck.
No.
Because that's what you have.
Yes.
But you're not looking at what had actually happened in the field while harvest was taking place. And essentially, that's what the minor Kiai ruling was.
That is essentially.
That they're saying in the field.
Check in the field.
Check in the field.
The thief was in the field.
And tell us what happened.
How much did you lose?
How much did you lose in the field, or how much did you gain in the field? That is what you should tell
And what
Kenyans.
has happened is that the watchman in the field looking out after the maize is the agent. But the agent is not anchored in law. The law only says that political parties shall be given an opportunity to have an agent at the polling station, and it stops there. How the agents collect this information, collates it, and relate this information to the political party is left to the vagaries of the polling stations and the ability of the political party to provide exercise books. So if IEBC wants a transparent election, we are proposing that the agents ought to be properly anchored in law.
Okay. So
that then he has a statutory form that he can consume in the event of a dispute. Remember, the only form that comes to inform us the results is Form 35 if you are dealing with a member of parliament, or Form 34 if you are dealing with the president. That Form 34 does not belong to the agent. It belongs to the IEBC. Yet the agent is supposed to confirm those results on that particular Form 34. But when he's tallying for himself, he's not supposed to get that form. And remember, if an election dispute arises, the person who is in custody of all this information and material is IEBC. And you cannot open that box without an order of the court.
Right.
So preparing your petition itself is prejudiced because you do not have the necessary information. So we are proposing that there must be a provision, an infrastructure created for the IEBC, even if it would be either a form or a polls days diary in favor of the agents. So the agent is also able to record the events that have taken place in the polling station. If there is violence in a polling station, the only person who records that information is the presiding officer. But he keeps the PSD, the post-days diary, to himself or to herself. It is never given to the political parties. So we need to create an infrastructure where the agents becomes an integral and a central party and the participants in that particular elections, including him being able to take stock of what transpires in a polling stations on day-to-day basis. Or alternatively, a PSD, post-day diary, be provided for the agents, exclusive for the agents, to keep records of what transpires in a polling station.
I mean, Wakili, just to respond briefly on this.
Yes.
When one walks into a polling station and I'm given all, is it a must that I'm given all the 6
It
ballot
must,
papers?
it must be given.
So that even if I choose to just vote for the president,